saying like the front.
Oh, Brook.
What's up, buddy? Sit.
Let him eat. Let him eat.
Open right.
Stick him. Yeah.
Got him on.
Brook's hooked up, and that was on a throat hooked pilchard. You're not going to.
Put that on the left side of her up front. Ooh, going down.
Oh boy. Watch it from the rods.
Wow. I hit the...
Jason. Yeah, your gaff is a little too long for this boat.
Yeah.
Here, come up here.
Yeah, just make it easier up here so they don't.
It's worse to gaff up here. You can't see
No, it's
anything.
easier, way better to get.
Dude.
Right around
We're
the...
so
Oh my God.
Jesus.
What the hell was that?
I don't know.
spun around that thing twice.
Good gap shot though.
Yeah, after you tried 300
That was the
times.
biggest Guggen move I've ever seen.
I didn't make it swim around the drift sock.
Tell your fish.
Oh,
You gotta.
so fucked
We
now.
got it in the boat though.
You gotta tell your fish where to swim. Damn, you know your gaff is a little big for little fish like that. That's, yeah, I think,
Well, that's what I'm saying. It
the
was a
first
small
time-
24-inch kingfish.
I'm pretty sure the first time you hit him when it was over there, but you literally, your gaff is as wide as his body is. You know what I mean?
No, it's not
That's why you
even
get no little kingfish gaffs. You need little hooks. You have a very big gaff. The thing's that that's a cobia gaff.
It's not.
That's, let me see. A little looser. You got him?
Yeah.
Kingfish. Another king? Little?
Something like that.
Something like that. Dude, I'm telling you, this gaff is a death trap with this boat. Look,
Yeah, well, that's what just happened. That's what I'm saying.
this gaff is too long.
They're ready? What is this thing? It's got some size to it. I'm gonna come around over the sock.
Go underneath, dude.
Really? You can't just lift it?
I mean, I can, but everyone, ooh, don't get in the sock.
Go,
Well,
go,
I
go.
mean, you wouldn't help me, so that's what I'm saying, bro.
Woo!
The tuna.
You loosening or tightening?
Loosen.
Woo!
Whenever that happens, I loosen drag.
Big king, big king. That is not a tuna.
You want to lift that drift sock in real quick?
Yeah,
They love to just go over that.
that's true.
You don't have to bring it in all the way. You can just
No, I'm gonna bring it in. I'm not gonna risk it.
I'm gonna try at least right here.
That's why I didn't.
Not the
I
easiest
let
thing
go.
in the world, is it?
No.
You just gotta watch out where you're gaffing it, though.
That's why I went underneath your line. You never gaff over a line.
No, behind you.
Huh?
What, the console and everything.
I
You
see
ready?
it.
It's gonna come around his head.
You going over there?
Hey, move this rod there. Just like pick it up for me. Get it out of the holder.
Jeez.
Come on over, Victor. Try to get him for me. Just move that rod out of the way, baby. The line. It's a big king, dude. You're my biggest. Just nice and easy. Stick it in the meat, you know? A lot of meat there.
Here, I'll take it on your side.
Right there. Yeah, buddy.
Boom.
Boat.
Good one.
That's a real one.
Nice!
That's a
Hey.
nice spring king.
Hey, man.
That was a deep gaff
Good
shot.
job on the gaff. Beautiful job, beautiful fish. Bro.
I love that. I gets my heart going.
That's
huh?
redemption from last time. That's what we love.
We just got those 2 kings. Jason got that 30 pounder and Brook got that like 6 pounder. And I'm going to make some kingfish dips, so stay tuned. This is probably going to be part of, this is going to be a catch and cook. It's going to be a smoked kingfish dip catch and cook. So look forward to that. That's going to be the second part of the video. So for all you who are not interested in the cooking part, you should watch it anyway because you might like it. And I'm going to smoke this king as well as that smaller one. And now we've only smoked fish like 2 or 3 times, but the way we've been doing it is I'm gonna go ahead and fillet this guy, leave the skin on. Once I'm done filleting it, I'm just gonna take the bloodline out, the bones, the belly, just like you normally would when you go to eat a fish, but I'm gonna leave the skin on because when you go to smoke it, you're gonna see it peels right off. So just like with any fish, just follow the meat all the way to the head and see where it ends because every fish is different. Just go right here around the pec fin, and then follow your knife along that backbone. And the best part about filleting a fish is always checking to see what's in its stomach. So I'm gonna do a little belly check right here. There's something very hard in there. Let's open it from this side. And it's our bait. That's the pilchard that Jason caught him on, I'm pretty sure. I never understood that. If you go and you hook your bait and then it eats it, so I guess the hook gets detached from the bait and he's able to swallow it at the same time as it's getting hooked. There's just a lot going on. I don't know, that goes over my head. But yeah, that's our pilchard for sure.
It's always in his stomach. He was hungry.
Mm-hmm. Now all I'm doing is I took apart the belly right there. Took the belly out, and I'm gonna take the this bloodline with that really big thick bone running through it. Get that out of the way, and then the rest of the meat should be good to go. Now the one thing that I do know that I could give you guys advice if you are smoking fish is you want to make sure all your pieces are uniform in size, because if you think about it, when you smoke something, you're doing it for a long period of time, and if you have uneven sizes, you got a small one and a big one, that small one's going to cook way too fast. It's going to be dried out and burnt. So and another thing to consider is the size of your rack. We know the size of our rack, and so just going to go ahead and cut this all into pieces that'll fit onto the rack, and make sure they're try to make sure they're all around the same size, the same thickness. This is gonna make a lot of tubs of kingfish for me, for Jason, for his girlfriend, for his family, for Brooke's family, for my family. Give some to the neighbor Mike. So smoking is a very cool thing to do, because you can just spread the love, spread your kingfish around. And kingfish dip is so freaking good. All right, now to prepare our kingfish for the smoker, first what I'm going to do is make a brine. And for my brine, what I do is I put in just enough water into a big pot to cover all my fillets, and then I go ahead and add a cup of kosher salt, a cup of brown sugar, and a quarter of a cup of garlic powder, a quarter of a cup of paprika, and an eighth of a cup of Old Bay, and then you just whisk it all together and let your fillet soak in there. And I let these fillets soak in there overnight for around 12 hours. Alright guys, so the kingfish has been sitting in the brine for about 10, 11 hours now, and I just pulled it out of the pot, and that's what it looks like. It's soaked up all that good juice, the Old Bay, salt, paprika, garlic powder. So I'm gonna go ahead, and this is the rack for my smoker. I'm gonna go ahead and put it skin side down, and I'm just gonna do that until all the pieces are on there. We're gonna smoke some fish today. I just put it in, and it's at 100 degrees now. It's gonna get up to 200, between 200 and 250, and that's the fillets right there. I tried to separate them based on the size. I put the thicker fillets on one rack and then the thinner fillets on one rack, because the thinner ones up here will definitely finish before the thicker ones. And got my biscuit down there, a nice water bowl to collect the spent biscuits, and now we just gotta let it lay and watch it pay, and then check it in a couple hours and have some beautiful smoked kingfish. Now I'm going to show you guys what the fish looks like when it comes off of the smoker. Here is the chunks of kingfish, and I got a golden brown color on the outside. It's got a little bit of a crisp on the outside, but it still falls apart just very easily with your hands. And it is dry but moist at the same time, so it's definitely not like as if you cooked fish. You can definitely tell that it has been smoked, and it is very tender to the touch and breaks out very easily with your hands. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, I don't know how many pounds, but I think that this is probably at least 5 pounds, probably closer to the 10 pounds of fish side. And I'm going to go ahead and take this, crumble it up with my hands, put it in here, because what I'm going to do is then I'm going to mix it with all my wet ingredients and my vegetables. Now, for this step, you can either break it apart with your hands or put it in a food processor. My girlfriend and I and her family, we like to eat our kingfish dips with a little bit of on the chunkier side. You know, if you go to a restaurant, you guys can get fish dip that's very finely ground, and it's almost as if you're eating, it's like you're eating straight cream cheese. I don't like that. I like to know that I have fish in there. So I'm gonna break it up with my hands, and it's gonna take a while. Then we're gonna put it in there, and then I'm gonna show you how I make the actual dip. This is what it looks like after it's all done. I filled up half of this big pot, and this is the consistency that I have it at right now. It's gonna get a little bit finer because as I put in my wet ingredients, the mayonnaise, sour cream, cream cheese, all that mixing is still gonna grind it up a little bit more, but I like it a little bit less than this because I like to know that I'm eating the fish as I'm eating it, and it adds a nice texture to the dip itself. And then here's a little cool thing too. This is one of the chunks of the smoked kingfish, and this is actually ready to eat and good. It makes for a good snack. You can bring it out on the boat, wrap it up in some tin foil, and you're good to go. And just eat it out on the boat or wherever you're at. So since I don't know exactly how much fish I have, I'm not gonna put in too many wet ingredients at first. I'm gonna start out small and then keep adding to get the right consistency. And the first thing I'm gonna do is a cup of mayonnaise, Duke's mayonnaise, and then 8 ounces of sour cream and 8 ounces of cream cheese. You don't have to use all three. You could use sour cream and cream cheese if you want, mayonnaise and sour cream, but I think that the best works out with if you use at least mayonnaise and then one or the other. You don't have to use all three, but definitely put in mayonnaise because it's definitely the most flavorful out of all three. All right, as you can see that it needs a lot more wet ingredients. So I'm gonna go ahead and add another cup of mayonnaise for sure, and then the entire container of sour cream. Now for the vegetables that are going into my fish dip, I'm gonna go with 3 things. I'm gonna go with onion, celery, and jalapeno. Now I'm gonna put the onion and celery in the entire batch of fish dip, and then I'm gonna separate it and take 2/3 and leave it as it is, and then I'm gonna take 1/3, set it to the side, and then mix some jalapeno in there because this is gonna be for a bunch of different people, and a lot of people do not like the jalapeno. So first I'm gonna do the onion and celery, and the key to this when you're making any type of dip or ceviche or anything is small bite-sized pieces. The smaller it is, the more enjoyable it is to eat, and that way you make sure that everyone gets a little bit of everything in each bite, and you're not getting a giant chunk of something in your dip. So check out all the tubs of kingfish that I made. These are pretty big tubs, all the way full. I got 7 good ones. Already ate a bunch of this one, and I have some jalapeno ones, some regular ones. This is gonna be divided out to friends and family. The best way to eat your kingfish dip is either with club crackers, Ritz crackers. I like some kind of cracker because when you try to use a tortilla chip, especially with the thicker dip that I did make, it tends to fall apart. So you grab your fork, you grab your dip, and you put on a good amount. And this is the jalapeno kind because I love spicy food and I love jalapenos. Go ahead and just smother it on there. And you can see, I'm gonna focus in on the camera for you guys, that this dip, so you see what I mean when I say it's kind of chunky, you really see those chunks of kingfish. It adds to the texture of the dip. You don't wanna be eating just a really mayonnaise-y, creamy dip. I don't like that, you might like it, but I like a good thick textured dip. Really, really good. There's just the right amount of jalapeno, just the right amount of celery and onion. So with every bite you get a nice little crunch of celery, you get a crunch of onion. There's a little bit of heat from that jalapeno, and you can kind of subtly taste the Old Bay in there, as well as the brown sugar and everything. See, there's that jalapeno starting to come out right now. It is very good. So if you guys catch a kingfish, if you don't have a smoker, go ahead and ask your friends and family, you know, they might have a smoker, go ahead and give them some fish. They'll take some fish, in exchange they'll make some smoked fish for you. And then this recipe is actually really easy to follow. Once you have the smoked fish, it's easy. There's nothing to it but adding some wet ingredients, whatever vegetables you want, go ahead and mix it all up, and then you're good to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This one was really fun to make. I love me some kingfish dip. And until that next video, guys, stay salty, my friends.